Hi, in this week's project, we're going to be faking it with Photoshop. So I'm going to create an image which has a famous building in the background, and myself, I've taken a picture of myself in front of a green screen, and a picture of a photograph of a celebrity. And we're going to put that all together so that I can pretend that I was with the celebrity in the place that I've decided on. So launch your Adobe Creative Cloud and open Photoshop up. Make sure your applications are kept up to date. You don't want to have to wait too long for them to launch. And let's open up Photoshop. And while we're waiting for Photoshop to open up, what I've done is I've found a picture of the Kremlin. I'm going to, it's a hip and happening place. I'm going to choose this as my background, and I'm going to put the picture together with myself and Vladimir Putin. So if I choose a picture, one thing I can do is I can go copy image, and I've now copied that to my pasteboard. Photoshop is launched, and you can see I've already got a file of Vladimir Putin here and of myself, oh, terrible picture, in front of a green screen. So I'm going to click New File, and you'll notice it's got clipboard available, or you can go and make custom sizes, and you can choose the size of your canvas here, the size and width, the resolution in pixels per inch, using RGB color, transparent background. Try and keep default settings, but obviously the size, you might want to decide different sizes. So I'm going to have a clipboard. Remember, I copied that image of the Kremlin. That's sitting on my clipboard. So if I click on clipboard here and click create, it's going to create a canvas the same size as that picture of the Kremlin. So now if I go edit, paste, it's pasted that picture of the Kremlin into my clipboard, and I don't know why it's not the same size. It was when I did this a few moments ago. Anyway, so I've got to make this image a little bit bigger, and the way to change the size is to use Edit, Transform, Scale. Photoshop, the bread and butter of Photoshop, most things that you do involve a couple of things, and resizing something is one of them. Edit, transform the scale. And then I'm just going to make it bigger. And I think that looks good. That looks like I'm standing in front of the Kremlin. If you click the movement tool, you'll notice the lines disappear and you can carry on. It's applied that transformation to the canvas. So that's my background layer. I'll just move my image up here. That is part of the recording suite. It's not part of Photoshop. So I'll move that out of the way as well. Here is our little layers tab. And I've got a layer 1. You can see the Kremlin in there. And it's very small, so it's difficult to see what's in a layer. So it's always a good idea to name your layers. So I'm going to go click, click, where it says layer 1. Click, click. And I'm just going to call it background. I could have called it Kremlin, but that's my background image. Now I need a picture of myself. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here where it says create a new layer. So just in front of the rubbish bin. And I'm going to click create a new layer, and it makes a new layer on top of that background layer. So I'm going to be standing in front of the Kremlin. So this is me. So I'm just going to call it me. And I need to get that picture in. So I can do it by either, if it's a picture from the internet, I can go copy image and again copy it in. But I've got to go and open the image. And there it is in my downloads folder. So I open that image, and you'll notice what it does is it pops into a separate image. If you look at the tabs at the top here, there's the image I'm working on. And this one is the one I've just opened. So I need to go select all, and you can see the marching ants, the dotted line around the whole image. And I go Control-C to copy it. God, it's an awful picture. I can then go into the picture that I'm editing, make sure that I'm in that layer for me. I mustn't be in the background layer or it will replace the pixels. So I've got to be in the new layer, and I go Edit, Paste, or Control-V. It's way too big, so you know how to resize an image. That's right, Edit, Transform the Scale. And all I do is I just drag the handle in, and I just move it into position so that I can see until I get about the right size. And I think that's about the right size. I'm going to put myself up against this corner because my shoulder disappears. And here I can be standing next to Vladimir Putin. So it doesn't matter if my shoulder disappears that side. Again, click the movement tool and you notice the box lines disappears. It applies that transformation. I'm in the Me layer, so anything I do happens in the Me layer. And I want to remove this green screen background. So just above the paint bucket, you'll notice there's an eraser. So if I right click on the eraser, I could use an eraser tool and go like that, just rub up and down like using a rubber, and you'll notice you can now see through into the background. It's making it transparent. Or I can use the magic eraser. What the magic eraser does, oh, I think I chose the wrong one. God, you've chosen the wrong tool. Control Z, Control Z. I don't know what I've done here. I've just pressed escape to escape out of there. Never panic when that sort of thing happens. I don't know what the hell was going on, but I just saw the word escape, so I clicked escape. So I'm going to click the magic eraser tool now, and if you click on the green, it removes the green. And you'll notice it didn't remove a lot of the green. My tolerance here is 10. So 10 is a small number, so it's not very tolerant. It's not tolerating a lot of shades of green. It's tolerating only a few shades of green. If I click that up to 40, say, now I click on the green, it's tolerated a lot of the green, and it's removed quite a lot of it. Not all of it, but it's removed quite a lot of it. If I use that zoom tool, I can zoom in, and you can see that there's a bit in the hair there. So I'm going to use the ordinary eraser. Come on. Yeah, I think I've got it. That's probably a bit too much. I don't think that matters too much. You know, if I were doing this for a magazine, obviously I would have to, if this was Vogue magazine, I'd have to be really, really careful. But a green tinge on the beard, I'm not going to be that careful. I'm not that good at this. This is called deep etching, by the way, and it's what most Photoshop people do most of the time. So I want to zoom out again, so I choose the zoom tool. Okay, if I go view, I can go fit on screen, and it fits the image on the screen. I think that looks roughly okay. Looks like I'm in front of the Kremlin, so that's me done. What about Vladimir Putin? Well, new layer. So I click on create a new layer, and I name that layer Putin, and now I've got to go and get the picture. So again, I go File, Open, and I go and get the picture of Vladimir Putin. I've got to go Select All, Control C to copy, and I go back into this image. By the way, these ones you can click the X to close them, so you've got just the image you want. And I can now go, I'm in the Putin layer, in the layers, because if I'm in any other layer, it will delete the pixels in that layer. So I go Control V, it's in the own layer, and again I can go Edit, transform the scale to just bring Vladimir Putin down to size, and I wish one could do that. So we're going to be standing kind of shoulder to shoulder, but I'll move him slightly off for the moment, keep my distance. So what you want is kind of, especially the head should be roughly the same size. So I've got to make him a bit bigger. I'm sure he's taller than me anyway. Click the movement tool, so it applies, and now I can go in and use my eraser tools. I can use the basic eraser, and can you see it's 29 at the top here? I could make it bigger, make it nice and big, and I could remove whole sections at a time. Another way of doing it is clicking the marquee tool. So it's that second one just under the movement tool. I click the rectangular marquee. If I open that up and I hit delete, I can make whole areas at a time and delete them. But probably that eraser tool is best for that. Or you can use the magic eraser. Oh no, I've got to click escape again. You see, I've learned something today. Always use that escape tool. I think what's happening is I'm clicking on the toolbar for... Why is it not working? Oh, because I've got my marquee. So I've got to go select, deselect, so that marquee tool disappears. And then I can start, oh, too much, Control Z. My tolerance is too big. I must take it down to about 10. And just click on images, on colors, make them disappear. Just keep making sure that when it disappears, it doesn't take out any of Vladimir Putin. And you just keep on doing that until you've removed everything that needs removing. The bits that you can't remove, just use, I've done it again, escape, right click, use the eraser tool. So it's finicky. It really is finicky to remove that background. And if you make a mistake, just use Control Z. Photoshop allows you to undo up to 20 mistakes. So as long as you realize it within 20 kind of mouse clicks, you can undo it. And if I want a smaller eraser, I can just get it. But I'm doing fairly roughly here. I'm going to make it smaller. Now it's up at 80. I move the slider down so I can get into the finicky bits between the neck and... Okay. Now, have I removed everything? One way of telling is remove the background. So in the background layer, you can see the eyeball there. If you just click there, it removes that, and you've got an idea of what you've removed or haven't removed. And you can see here, I need to remove this. And once I've done that, my image is pretty much ready, and I'm ready to save it. So put the eyeball back. So I've got a background, I've got myself, I've got Vladimir Putin. Oh, Putin is too far away, I think. Remember, I wanted him to sort of cover that arm that's disappearing. That looks like the two of us are together. Not a very good picture, but anyway. To save, you go File, Save, and it offers to save on your computer into the Creative Cloud. So you've got a copy of the cloud, you could use it on any computer. I'm just going to go Save, and I'm going to go... I'm going to call it Photoshop 1. I'm going to click Save, and it saves to the cloud, and upload that to Teams.